Commander, I have news. I finally heard back from Virgil. His message was suitably vague. I suspect he fears the Consul's eyes scanning his message, but I believe it to refer to the Arbiter training facility located on Paradise Island. Parts of the location can only be accessed by Arbiters. He likely did so to avoid the Consul's spies. There's a certain hominess to it, inasmuch as we have any particular home. Bringing our findings to Virgil will hopefully allow us to deduce something from all that we found. I only hope it dispels some of the muddiness we've encountered so far. Further complications would be most disagreeable. Silent as a tomb. I hope we aren't too late. Virgil's not about. He's like to be in the training grounds depths. There's a lift that will take us lower, located behind the door next to those stairs.
face. Do come up.
Virgil! Oh, thank the architect I found you intact. We visited the Supreme Arbiter's office in Central Control and found something impossible.
Impossible? Why is it impossible? So that you may claim ignorance as to the truth of what you've uncovered? Fine. If you're still so thick-skulled, Tristan, then I can see I've no choice but to confess. Hold. Do you hear movement?
Attention, Arbiter Virgil Montag. Under the jurisdiction of the Council, we stand to bring you low. Do not resist.
Damnation! I knew the Sentinels were looking for me, but I did not expect they would come to this place. We have no choice but to fight. I can operate our turrets from this location, but you must engage the Sentinels head-on to prevent our being overwhelmed. Go now!
Arbiter Montag, lay down your arms.
Go!
Surrender and die.
I will join you shortly.
Worthless bodies.
Emergency protocol
Another intolerable destruction!
Those fools were but an expeditionary force. I've no doubt the bulk of their number remains on the surface. I shall take an alternate path to prepare a surprise for our would-be assailants. Then I shall flank them as you engage them.
Hold! You were beginning to say something before we were ambushed. I would care to hear it.
We cannot have this conversation until you're safe. Engage those on the surface and I shall join you. Go now.
Eliminate. Better than overtime!
Virgil, enough! Our being at odds with the Council is one thing, but that was a small army! What have you done?
You already know whether you're willing to admit it or not. Do you sincerely have a need for me to spell it out before you'll face the truth? Very well then. Tristan, you stand before the murderer of the Supreme Arbiter.
I don't believe this. The Consul must have captured you and sent you to mental refreshment. It's the only...
Open your eyes, Rao. Those Sentinels were here with due cause. The elimination of a murderer. The Supreme Arbiter was planning to send a message in her final moments, pledging allegiance to the Consul. Who do you think bore witness to those final moments? Had I not been so overcome with emotion, I would have been thorough enough to delete that. It matters no longer.
No. You lied to me?
I had to. I knew that if you learned what had transpired, why I did what I did, it would destroy you.
Would it? Or were you just trying to save yourself from my wrath?
With the demands this war has made on us all, I've not seen our mentor for some time. My visit was meant to be a surprise. Unfortunately, it was. I overheard her decision to align herself with the Consul before she realized I was there. This admission, I had no choice but to act.
But there was a choice. Why didn't you come to me? Together we could have come up with something. Some other course of action.
Because I didn't want you to know. I never wanted you to learn the truth because I feared you'd lose your faith. No. Sentinel Peralt's remarks were the first I'd heard of any secret room. I feared what you might learn there, so I scrambled to find an agent who might locate the room before you. I only had one contact who I knew may be able to do the job. Obviously, he did not succeed. I was pleased to learn that my decision did not result in his death, at the very least. That is news to me. A junior arbiter judging Tristan. I can't imagine you let that stand.
Killing one of Arcadia's future arbiters over a singular breach of rank would have been most tragic. But this is not the matter we're here to discuss. No. I can, if the situation was truly as he claims, understand his initial decision. Perhaps I even sympathize. Just a little. But playing false with me, that's another matter entirely, and the matter of justice remains. You're right. You're right. I can't let emotion get the better of me. This is not the first time we've encountered the paradoxical nature of Protectorate law. Each time we did, you convinced me to stay my hand, and I do not regret those I spared. Our prior conclusions inform my present feelings. I theoretically understand what Virgil did, for there was no proper decision he could make. But I cannot view this objectively. Virgil killed our mentor. It's madness. I cannot simply let that stand. Can I? I just don't know. This situation has me at a loss. I don't know. He was right when he said the Consul would simply manipulate High Command. But the law is clear on this. It is explicitly illegal for an inferior to execute their superior. The issue must be accelerated to a higher authority. But is addressing traitorism not the utmost priority of any arbiter? Is not the betrayal of everything we stand for more significant than a breach of protocol? No. And even if there was, maybe this was right. We must think for ourselves if Arcadia is to survive. I cannot bring myself to execute my sworn brother. It could be better if I did not. I cannot be sure this path does not fly in the face of all I believe, or speak to some weakness at the depths of my being. I know not what to make of the Supreme Arbiter's betrayal. I'll have to ruminate on it for some time. But that aside, I forgive you, Virgil. You are spared.
I don't know what to say. I just wish there had been some other option. That's all well and good, but it shan't undo my actions, or bring anyone back. I must live with that. 1,000 words of thanks for meeting me here, Tristan. I know not what the future holds for us, but for the time being I must make myself scarce. Though, before I go, a parting gift. May Tristan make use of it better than I.
Go with the Sovereign's blessing, brother. And be careful. If you survive today only to be brought low by an agent of the Consul at a later point, I shall be most annoyed. Commander, this has all been draining. I need time to process what we've learned today. What I've done. Later, I hope we might discuss it. I am prepared for it. Speak freely. Certainly, I can... Bending my ear? I hope you intend to point me towards someone in need of judgment. Speak freely. Commander, I've had some time to process what transpired with Virgil. Despite the manner of what Virgil has done, I cannot help but be glad I did not need to slay him. I can only hope he does not run afoul of further Sentinels. I still have much doubt about my path, but I don't believe Protectorate law is as ironclad as I once thought. Having good intentions does not spare you. Doing what you think is right does not spare you. This cannot be justice. Yet what can I do? More than 100 years of Protectorate society cannot be changed by a lone body. Can it? But how? I see. I must follow my own path, my own sense of right and wrong. I can only hope it has been cultivated properly. I shall remain with the Protectorate, interpreting its laws through a moral instead of a punitive lens. Innocent until proven guilty is a novel concept, but it is worth a try. Words are not worth the air propelling them. Let me make good on them first. Then you may be impressed. When we began traveling together, I was not sure what to make of you. But your input throughout our time together has been invaluable. I deeply appreciate your hand in this investigation, Commander, and in entertaining my incertitude. Let us move forth to free Arcadia from injustice. Do I detect a spot? Speak freely. Certainly. I consider myself the truth of Virgil's deeds, of the Supreme Arbiter's perfidy, hangs over me like a sword. But I am yet comforted by the fact that my brother in arms lives.
Got a lot on my mind, but I can make time. The Order's really got some nerve, acting all superior over Auntie's choice. They mocked us for our experiments, but here they are, drugging their own folk en masse. Ain't any different from us in the end. Though, guess it really goes to show the power of public relations, huh?
You bring a cultist into my presence? I hope this isn't a sign you've lost your nerve. Or are you planning on removing the cultists from Newton one at a time, like this one here? I was expecting different results.
Cultists in Newton? As much as I'd welcome the bloodshed, it may be wise for me to avoid members of the Dawn until I get their treachery sorted.
I scarcely take time to engage in idle conversation, but perhaps this will be illuminating in some fashion. Who told you about that? Were there an experiment being conducted here involving any kind of medicament? Confirming its existence would compromise it. The theoretical existence or non-existence of Order experiments are strictly within the Order's purview. It doesn't concern you. It's not nefarious. It's a waste of time. But fine, you've made your point. We are standing in the experiment. Laplace's garden was built as a scholar's utopia, with this drug perspective as its regulating reagent. This was supposedly to aid us in deciphering the equation. One would think that an organization at active war would have more pressing responsibilities than a scholar's paradise. But surely, I'm only a pessimist. Specifically, a phlogistinated firearm, capable of tunneling through reinforced armor. Broadly, weaponry, research, anything capable of giving our exemplars an edge. Are you deriding me, or do you honestly believe that? So many exemplars have died since this war began. So many under my leadership, but that's not your point, I understand. I wish I had more time to devote to my tinkering, but the war takes precedence. I have nothing but respect for Ruth. Without her guidance, the Order may never have found the strength to dissolve its protectorate bonds. If I had to dig for the smallest critique, I'd note that she shoulders too much. If she collapses beneath the strain, the Order will be rudderless. This we cannot afford. I generally prefer to keep discussions relevant.
If there's anything worse than my former fellow protectorate subjects,
please assess your pain on a variable scale of 1 to 100. 1 being entirely pain-free, and 100 being the worst pain you can imagine.
There is far too much variability in that scale. The amount of pain I can imagine is hardly an objective measure of the maximum amount of pain I could actually feel.
Your observation. Your observation is correct, which is a diagnostic in its own right. Now, if you were to indicate using a scale of 0.4
Hello,
to
layperson.
12.7,
Time
how
for
close you are
discourse.
to going into shock.
Sadly, that scale is entirely beyond my current comprehension, thus leading me to believe I'm already in shock, and the question itself was the actual test.
Excellent. Our diagnostic is complete, and you should feel free to resume bemoaning. Hello, layperson.
Lovely day for differential geometry.
That's one way to become the center of attention.
Can't afford.
Have an intellectually stimulating day.
Oh, hello. Cogitate here often?
I'll write my next dissertation in your honor.
The parasite from the berry.
Have an intellectually stimulating day.
You've advanced the plan. You shall be feted. Line our pockets.
Do you see these magnificent weapons? They have the greatest destructive potential the Protectorate can bring to bear. Tell me then, why should they not have been installed here?
Not an issue of ammunition or targeting calculation capacity. Is it because of...
Hello, layperson.
Hello, layperson.
Another object, just gone. Nothing.
Excuse me, I don't think you have the authorization.
It's fine, but don't get too close. You won't survive direct contact with the rift.
All the items we put into the rift, they've been reconstituted.
But in a state far different from their original configuration. Fascinating. damn it. It's reverted to its previous state. Is it a failing of the device or an inevitable effect of the passage of time? Architect above. That was incredible. That small, portable device changed the state of the rift anomaly in an instant. From observing how the device operates and how the rift reacted to it, it seems to be using some kind of energy burst generated by a magnetic field to re-deregulate the structure of the field around the rift. Truly an astounding piece of technology. That's quite ingenious. The rifts are unlike any other phenomena heretofore observed. We've still so much to learn. Would you consider allowing me the opportunity to open the casing and examine the inner workings? No, forget I asked. What a preposterous question. Thank you for the demonstration. It was most enlightening. You have given my team and I a good deal to think about, and to try and fit into our current theoretical framework. It seems rifts do not fit cleanly into our current understanding of the universal equation. I'm not sure how you got that, but treat it with respect. We must now endeavor to construct our own. Open again, quickly. Record all the relevant data and take down your observations.
Free to take.
Reverted again! Infuriating!
Hello, layperson.
Fascinating. It seems gravity doesn't apply to the rift.
Hello,
It somehow
layperson.
maintains its position in space relative to the solar.
Time for discounts.
Captain. I feel... Ah, it's you. Prime mover of the grand plan.
Remarkably effective for someone so ignorant of abstract calculus.
Line our pockets.
you. I don't know you, but you, I do. It's good to see you, Asa. It's me, Severin. You know, I've never been to Cloister before. It's cold.
What is wrong with you? Void, damn it! Did they mentally refresh you?
No, let's just say I'm well lubricated. You tried the new Prestige gin? It helps when you have to do something you really don't want to do. Yes, there are a bunch of sentinels in hiding. When I give the word, they're to execute both of you.
Not before I mentally refresh your brain pan with my knife.
I didn't want to do this. I guess I shouldn't have questioned the kill order so loudly. It was real. It came from the exalted leader herself. She summoned me, knew of the message I'd sent, said I'd ruined everything. To save myself, save the Dawn, I had to do this. I'm a coward. I didn't want to die. I'm sorry, Asa.
Absolutely not. We don't need his help. We should just kill him and get on with the Sentinel killing. If we die, at least I'll be taking a great many of them with us. You make a compelling argument. No need to waste our time killing yet more faceless cogs in the Protectorate machine. As fun as that may be.
But you're basically just asking me whether I'd like to be killed by you or the Sentinels. Because when they figure it out, they'll execute me. That gin must have muddled my gray matter more than I thought. I'd have sworn there was no way out of this, but what you're saying makes a lot of sense. Thank you. And thank you, Asa. I thought I was dead.
What an idiot. I can't believe I thought of him as a friend. I can't believe she betrayed us. And the whole of the Dawn to save her own life. What a coward. The unspeakable things I will do when I find her. Well, once I find her. The exalted... No, I won't refer to her as such any longer. Dagmar continually moved around for safety. She always initiated contact with me. We do know that she was in league with the Sentinels, though. There's nothing of it but to get ourselves inside their headquarters on Praetor. We'll track her by accessing their comm system. Lots of killing, I'd assume. And we don't need to worry about their systems. My parents were vigilant. I stole their access codes when I was younger, but never had the nerve or call to use them. Once we do, they'll become unusable, as they'll set off all sorts of alarms. I did mention all the killing, didn't I? What of it? So were a lot of people. It is no longer of any matter, regardless. They are dead. And no, before you ask, I did not kill them. Dagmar. The cur. How could she betray me? Her, of all people. The one who recruited me into the Dawn and saved my life. And out of all the cultists, she elevated me to the highest rank in the Dawn. was her right hand. She was my supervisor. I was just a lowly scientist. She alone could see my heart through the shell the Protectorate encased me in. And when she saw my pain, she looked into my background. It was then that she recruited me. And why is that so difficult to believe? Ironically, I used my closed-minded scientific rigor as a defense from the unbridled intelligence that tormented me when I was younger. My psychological profile. I saw it once. Recommended sending me to mental refreshment when I was young. Repeatedly. Something about killing Sprats. But my parents were able to keep that from happening. The paranoia the Protectorate creates in its subjects crowds everything else out. Even familial love. They were terrified that my behavior would lead people to start looking at them askance. You remember I told you they were vigilant, right? They could have helped me in numerous ways, ways lesser subjects' parents couldn't. But they did nothing. Just locked me away until I learned to hide my feelings. My existence was always bleak, joyless, without purpose. Just like every other subject's. Dagmar was the first friend I'd had since I was a young child. She gave me a life. A family. Or so I thought. Thank you. But Dagmar has shown me I can't depend on anyone. I have to let my beliefs guide me now. They're all I have left. It's hard to explain, but outside of the lab, thinking only ever confused me, got me into trouble. Since I joined the Dawn, everything has been so much simpler. I depend on the Dawn's beliefs. Without them, I would have nothing but a purposeless existence. I just can't, and I won't. I'm certain we've better things to do than whatever this is. What are we standing around jawing for? There's mayhem and murdering to be... Such as? You mean the drivel we found at the Interstitial Reconfiguration Center? Are you trying to imply that it disproves something? Their methodology is flawed. They even said they were conducting further experiments. I suppose you think that just because Dagmar betrayed me, it changes anything? One has no bearing on the other. Just because she has lost her faith doesn't make the Dawn's beliefs any less true. I will. I don't want to talk about this anymore. But, thank you just the same.
If x is the square root of -1, and you distribute the two, may all out...
Enemy spotted.
Eliminate.
We don't have to track her down. She's here. She didn't betray us to the Sentinels. She is a Sentinel. With a fucking office in central control. Something like this could really cause one to question their sanity.
There? If you wish to feel better, try thinking of wanton murder.
I'm just going to pretend I didn't hear that.
Well, as a Helia Leitinger, I suppose I shouldn't be surprised you've made it this far. In addition to your wonderful thirst for wanton violence, you were always bright, though still somehow too thoroughly deluded to apprehend the truth. But then again, you never really wanted to, did you? So then you well know what I'm speaking of. It is what made her the perfect candidate when the Consul tasked me with starting the Glorious Dawn.
What are you talking about? There were cultists before me.
No, there were not. The fiction of a cult was born out of the need to convince the Sovereign to return to the true spirit of the Protectorate. The Consul feared he was too weak.
You... How dare you! You shall pay dearly for daring to speak thus, and the Consul shall pay triple.
I see that Aza isn't the only willfully ignorant person here. Society needs to be controlled for the greater good, by any means necessary. Or would you prefer a more corporate way of life?
Dagmar, all this can't be right. How can you spout such lies? Our cause is righteous. It has to be.
And there it is. I almost felt sorry for you, Azahelia. You were so pathetic. So willing to believe specious arguments backed with only the flimsiest of proofs. Ah, well, such is life. But your usefulness is not yet at an end. Your death will put me back in the Consul's good graces. Goodbye, Aza.
No, that's too quick. What about... No, not painful enough. Yes, that's it. I just need to find a piece of heat-conducting metal and something to peel the skin effectively. Really? Oh, but I so want to kill her. Okay, I'll keep my torture plans to myself. For now.
Sentinels, the traitor Azahelia Leitinger is in the compound. She is to be terminated forthwith.
Azahelia Leitinger is still at large. All guards converge on my position at once.
Malefactor ahead.
Forever been.
Glory found. Maintaining.
I am loath to admit I require medical assistance.
Trust the plan.
Thanks, and my hammer.
Aggressor at hand.
I just had a thought. I'm really not.
I spy my next victim. I mean, a hostile combatant.
Sir? Where are you? Stay sharp! They'll be here any moment!
Dagmar would never let herself be cornered. She's sure to have an escape route. We should find it.
You're still alive! Now, let's not be too hasty here. You seem a rational person. There must be something we can do to resolve this peacefully. Please don't let Azza get her hands on me.
Why are you talking to them, Dagmar? I'm the one you must answer to. So start talking. Tell me why. Why did you do this? To me!
Why? I'm a loyal subject to the True Protectorate. What other reason is there? When the Consul tasked me to help save the colony, I did not even think to ask why. And you were an obvious choice. So lost, so dead inside. But then you went berserk. I never could have imagined how you'd take to the killing and mayhem. You brought me great praise from the Consul. Until you started asking questions and killing the wrong people. Which wrong people didn't she kill? We were supposed to work through intimidation and the perceived threat to our system. Sure, maybe kill some subjects, those that could possibly become threats to the Protectorate, but not the dozens she slaughtered. For Matriarch's sake, she was killing vigilance. And then she started asking questions that would have led to her discovering the truth. She had to die before the Consul decided to cut the link between Azza, him, and the Dawn. Me. The Consul feared that the Sovereign wasn't up to the task he inherited. He actually believed the subjects no longer needed such a firm guiding hand. So the Consul set to creating a challenge for the Sovereign to rise to make manifest the hidden dangers he refused to see. It began with labeling political subversives members of a fictitious cult. When that didn't work, the Consul enlisted me to make the glorious dawn a reality.
That means your death will be quick. Well, quicker than it would have been. What? What are you trying to say? Why did I ever listen to you and all your questions in the first place? I feel like I don't know anything anymore.
You saw that, Azahelia? And you still believed? I am impressed by your dedication to the Dawn's theology. Dismissing hard evidence like that. I suppose I shouldn't be surprised. It took you long enough to start questioning the fact that the Dawn always seemed to be being sent to places that benefited the Consul politically. Not to mention they were forbidden from throwing themselves into their beloved rifts unless given specific instructions to do so. Couldn't have them all just killing themselves.
That is true. I'd gone too far to admit it. Until the end, when I could no longer completely ignore the dissonance in my head. It's lies. All of it. Get out of here, Dagmar. Before I change my mind.
Yes, well, can I just grab my... no, I suppose not. I'll show myself out.
What do I do now? I know that, but thank you for saying so. I meant, what should I do about the unhinged members of the Glorious Dawn? Without a leader, they could be even more dangerous. We may need to do some killing. You know, for old time's sake. I can send out a general message from here. I'll need to concoct some plausible theory to sell them on, though. Can't simply tell them to abandon their beliefs and just be good. How about this? I'll spout some vague new discoveries about the plan that demand we align our intentions with perfection before the Rifts will accept us into paradise, or some such nonsense. That should work, though I suspect a fair amount will simply just jump into the closest rift. I'm sure there will be some that ignore the message completely, though. Enough to keep my knife skills up, at least. It's done. I need to leave this place. It makes me sick to my stomach.
Villains abound. Be on guard.
What? Deserves a look. Insufferable to formal audit of the ground. Nerve. Giving chase. A boarding search. Bit leery of that. Worthy of review. So, if one assumes their intentions untoward. Restorative cocktail.
Void
What?
Right.
Better take a
Where's the
gander.
goal?
All right, calling it quits.
Injuries detected. How may this unit assist?
It's strange how I ended up here after all my time with the cult. I think I knew it was a lie all along. I just felt such freedom, such excitement. Like nothing I'd felt before. But it was all hollow. Being free didn't give me purpose. It simply served to distract me. I guess I just wanted to say, the fact that you accepted me onto your crew means a lot. It feels like I have a home. So thank you. Not randomly, no. I'll follow your lead. Unless I feel you're being threatened. Can't have my commander killed, after all. Commander? Such as?